Mental fitness. How do you rate yours? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 150 of our Supersize You annual challenge. Today we're talking about, and our topic is our level of mental fitness. And then I'm going to share at least 3 ways that you can improve your mental fitness on an ongoing basis. A lot of times we think that we can do something once and it will last forever. But what would happen if you only brushed your teeth once? Would it last forever? No, there's certain things that we need to do often, several times a week for sure, but I say daily. Why would we not be exercising our mind daily, just like we are, hopefully, our bodies, getting up, moving, doing some things to keep mobile, keep active, because it's connected, right? Our level of physical fitness is connected to our level of mental fitness. Our ability to even get up and say, I'm going to exercise today, is influenced by whether we believe we can or not, or if it's good for us or not. Some people will swear that doing anything physical is not good for them. And maybe that's true. Maybe they have a medical condition or something that makes that true for them, or true for them right now. Has it always been true for them? Probably not. Will it be true for them in the future? No way of telling. It's kind of up to them based on what they're thinking. So today, keep in mind that mental fitness is just like anything else. It's not a destination. It's something to continually improve throughout the course of our lifetime. I love things that I get to work on a little bit throughout the course of my lifetime, knowing that how I was when I was born and how I will leave this planet is going to be a huge transformation, and actually a whole lot of transformations along the way, right? As soon as we think we're done with some experiences, sometimes they come back and rear their ugly little heads again because we didn't learn the lesson in the first place. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely positively sharp as a tack. Tacks are sharp, by the way, not in the way I mean, but they are indeed sharp. Or not so much. I'm just stuck in my own head and in my own way of being, and I haven't read a book since high school, and I don't need to because I'm already awesome. And if you're already awesome, great. But if you could be a little bit better, that's even more awesome. I don't know where that came from. So neuroplasticity, our ability to learn and grow, continues throughout the course of our lifetime. There seems to be some schools of thought that it happens mostly when we're children, which it does, because we start out like an empty vessel and we have to learn everything, right? And then we get to the point where we know a whole lot of things and we can survive on our own. And we sometimes make the choice to say, okay, I'm just going to coast for a while. I'm not going to learn anything new. I'm just going to be. I'm just going to exist. I'm just going to hang out on the park bench like Eric told for 2 years until I get my epiphany and my great idea and become world famous. So I don't know where that came from either. Sometimes it's just fun to talk. But today, our challenge is I'm going to ask you to commit to 3 things that you will do on an ongoing basis for the next 90 days. I didn't say for the rest of the year, but I would highly recommend and hope that within 90 days it becomes a habit for you. And you get to decide what those things are. I'm going to give you some ideas. I'm going to tell you some things that I do and I'm going to continue to do, and some things that I explore adding, because like everybody else, I can get in a rut. There's a reason they call it a rut. I used to like the expression, it's like a grave with the ends kicked out, but then I had a sudden cardiac arrest and I didn't think it was so funny anymore. All right, so how are you going to come up with your 3 things? You're going to ask yourself, what would make you feel more mentally fit? For my mom, for example, she just turned 89 years old. Every single day she does those cryptograms or whatever they are, the coded messages where you have to figure out what the letters stand for, and then it has a saying or a message or a theme. She loves those. She does a couple every single day. Why? Because it keeps her mind sharp. She's also an avid reader. I'm talking about my mom now. And she's an amazing human being. She's very spiritual, and she prays every day for a couple hours a day, because that keeps her mind and her spirit and her emotions moving in the direction she wants them to go. So that's my dad about 11 years ago, and they were lifelong best friends. And I guess not lifelong. She didn't meet him until she was like 11, I think. Anyway, that's a story for another day. I didn't get her nice legs. That's all I have to say about that story. So today, pick 3 things. And then also ask yourself, okay, I'm going to share some of mine. One is, I decided a long time ago that I was going to be a lifelong learner. People, I like to kind of break the world into 2 categories. People that love learning and will continue to learn till the day that they die. And then people that just don't. they get to a point in their life where they're just satisfied in their comfort zone, and that's how they live out the rest of their life. Neither one is right or wrong. They're just different choices. And guess what? That's the key component. It is our choice. We can decide to change anything in our life and our existence at any point in time. We just don't feel like we have permission to. Guess what? The only one that can give you permission to do that is you. So give yourself permission today to create, be, do, have, whatever it is that you want, and create and actually live and experience the life that you want. So many of us, and I've done this in the past too, settle for things just because we think we have to, or settle for things because we don't want to put in the effort to change things. And really, all we have to do is change our mind. And once we change our mind, well, things that we look at and see will change, and then everything in our life changes. And it can happen lightning fast, almost like lightning striking. It can happen and feel almost magical, some of the changes that we can make happen in our life that we never had thought possible. But as soon as we open our imagination and say, oh, that could be possible for me. Look at all the other people that have done that. Look at all the other people that have that. Why not me? Instead of saying, why me? Say, why not me? Why? Who says I can't have that? If one other person has ever done anything remotely like what you want to do, be, or have, you absolutely positively, that's proof that you can do the same thing. You just have to figure out how to get there from where you are right now. And we're all going to have our own little unique journey and path to get there, because we're all starting out from a slightly different point, right? None of us have had the exact same experiences as anyone else. And so it's one of the reasons not to be very judgmental, because nobody knows everybody else's whole story. Heck, half the time we don't even look at our whole story. We only look at a little picture of us and a version of us that we want to show to the world and show to ourselves. That's why mirror work is so incredibly powerful. So, for example, find fun, creative ways to exercise your brain, increase your thinking, solve problems and challenges. Whatever floats your boat, so to speak, do that. Do the things that you love doing so that you'll continue to grow and become a better version of yourself. So our share today is share the 3 mental things you're going to do. I'm not going to do cryptograms. I used to love puzzles, but my vision is magnifying glass vision, and I'm noticing that that's getting worse because I've been using my magnifying glass too much on my computer. I need to get back to blowing things up on my big screen TV. But just share that. And then if you're brave, share on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome, 1 being like I'm stuck in the past. I never went mentally beyond 6th grade. Here we go. Be honest. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to be looking at this and judging it. Certainly not me. I like to think I'm about a 7 because I know that there's a huge world out there and I have so much more to learn and grow. But I've also done a lot along the way. So I'm a little better than average, but I'm not where I want to be, right? So how am I going to get there? By doing at least 3 mental things to help my brain think and be better. And mine are going to be hypnosis, meditation, silent meditation, walks in nature. The things that I know work for me are the things I'm going to commit to doing going forward. All right. If you need any help, you know what to do. Just ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, see you tomorrow.